I'm a big fan of RuPaul's Drag Race, and there is a podcast that's ASMR drag queens, and it's just they get like drag queens to like they just kind of like bounce off of that, and they just do like a whole podcast with like drag queens doing ASMR.
That's awesome.
I don't actually listen to the whole thing. I look at the clips and then I laugh and then I keep scrolling. But
that's awesome.
That's good.
Still entertaining.
So are you keeping up with the current season of Drag Race?
Oh yes. Who's your favorite so far?
I haven't started season 12 yet. I had to binge 11.
I can't even.
I binged it on Netflix.
Okay.
So I'm caught up to that. I just haven't started 12 yet.
Okay. Well, I won't give any. So I was going to be like, tell me who you're rooting for. And we start like a pool.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance yet.
Okay. Who was your favorite from 11?
I started off really enjoying Silky. And then she got really arrogant and loud, and I was like, okay, this is just getting old.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love Vanjie.
I love Vanjie. I saw Vanjie live. Sorry, we need to start.
I'm sorry.
We got distracted.
This is like this will be good for like the show. If you guys want to.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can keep this in mind.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
All right.
I just love Drag Race.
Yeah.
Everything gay is my jam.
Same.
Yeah. We can talk about like Tu Wong Fu too, if you guys want. Excellent movie.
Tu
Wong Fu.
To be continued.
Know what that is.
You guys have never.
Educate us.
Okay. Yeah.
Later on.
Is this also podcast material? Should we start? Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna start.
All right.
Before we get too excited on drag queens. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Hindsight Grad Show Podcast. This is a show dedicated to highlighting the visual communications grad class of 2020 while building community connections. On this show, we will be speaking with students of the visual communications graduating class, as well as local artists, designers, teachers, and business owners. I am the host, Jordan Rose, and I am joined by my lovely co-host, Mikal. What's up? And today, we are joined by Loissa Russell.
Yep.
Yeah, she's a graduating student, third year. And Andrea Webb.
Hello.
Hello. Andrea Webb is the new owner of December 2nd Design.
That's right.
Yeah. Do you say December 2nd Design Studio or just December 2nd?
Just December 2nd.
Just December 2nd?
Yeah.
Awesome. I'm excited to talk about that.
Yeah, it's very exciting.
But first, let's talk to Loissa about her grad project and what she's got going on.
Up?
Yeah, hey.
So I'm doing a big 5-foot wide landscape painting. So it's really expressive and relates back to Hindsight in regards to like looking back on like my advancements as an artist and stuff. So it's really cool. In painting class, I never got to do any landscape stuff, so it's something that I really like to do in my spare time and like to push myself, and it's going to be like bright colors. It's going to be pretty wicked, hopefully.
And what's I know our grad show is Hindsight, but what's like the main, because you want to be an art therapist, is that right?
Yeah.
Does that relate to the art therapy you're painting?
I think like maybe the colors might relate to it, but mainly it's something like that I want to do. Like painting in general, like it's something that I've always been drawn to, and like I would definitely use it like in the future for art therapy, because I think it can, like for at least for myself, it can be really therapeutic, and I think it can help a lot of people. So I think just painting in general is really good.
Okay. So this is mainly like an exercise for your own therapy or therapeutic reasons and just experimenting, growing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's very cool. That's very cool. Andrew, you look like you have something to ask.
No, I'm just enjoying listening about like the sneak preview on all the grad projects that are happening.
Yeah.
It's an exciting time of year, so yeah.
It's going to be a good show, I think. There's a lot going on.
Oh, yeah.
So it's going to be excellent. Andrea.
Yes.
December 2nd.
Yes.
Give us all the gossip.
All the gossip.
All the deets.
Okay, so I became the official owner of December 2nd back in November. So December 2nd, which actually started in 2001 by my now former business partner, Renee Waters. He actually taught at the college here for, I think, just over 10 years. So I he was one of my instructors while I was here, and we maintained our relationship. And back in 2018, I joined him as a partner there, with the idea that he was going to retire in about 5 years, and that at that time I would take over the business from him. But that ended up moving up. So at the beginning of November, so it was just over a year, and then he ended up retiring. Though we still work very closely together, has 30 plus years experience, so I still get to tap into his mind for ideas and knowledge and that kind of a thing. But yeah, it's quite the adventure. It's something to take a legacy, we have like a 19-year legacy, and then say, all right, so how do I honor this legacy, and how do I also do my own thing with it? And so I'm very much in the process now of figuring out what is that exactly, and what does that look like, and what is the new December 2nd, and feels almost like college all over again, all these like ideas and ups and downs, and it's very emotional, a bit entrepreneurship. So yeah,
that's very cool.
Thank you.
What do you guys, for design wise, what do you focus on? Do you focus on a certain area of design? So if like a business comes to you and they're like, we want a logo, do you encourage like a full branding system, like website, logo, packaging, that kind of thing?
What we focus on is oftentimes when people come in, they think they want something, but they just think that that's what they're supposed to get. So the way that we approach it is, what is the problem you're trying to solve? So they might come in and say, I want a brochure. Well, why do you want a brochure? What do you think that's going to accomplish for you? What are you going to get out of that? Is that going to relate to your audience that you're trying to reach? So we work through with them and kind of try to drill down to what is the problem that they have, and then what solution can we offer to solve that for them.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
All right, so is it just you there then now?
It is just me at the moment. Renee is still on as a consultant, and then I also work. She's still her own business, but we work collaboratively on some projects with somebody who specializes in digital and social media marketing as well. So, finding those other experts and being able to partner with them, I think, is the future of the design business in a lot of ways, because it can be a bit overwhelming to try to be good at everything, right? But if you niche down and you find other people who have niched down who are awesome, then you can build incredible teams that way.
Right.
Yeah.
Are you looking at taking on summer students from the BizCom program?
In the future, not this year. I'm still a little bit, finding my direction with the business. But yeah, I mean, I think mentorship is so important. I have all of the milestones that I've reached in my career is because there was somebody further ahead than me that was willing to take time and mentor me and help me and lift me up. And I think that is so important in our industry, is collaboration, working together, supporting each other. So December 2nd used to take on a lot of work term students. So that's definitely a part of the legacy that I want to keep going, is helping other people and lifting them up.
Yeah, for sure. Mikhail, did you have a question? Okay.
Nope.
Okay.
No.
I was going to say, you're a part of Pulp as well.
I am.
Are you a part of Pulp?
Yes, I'm on the board.
Yes, and that was James's...
His baby. Yes, his brainchild.
And Mikhail is going to be working for...
I know.
Pulp.
It's very exciting.
It really is.
Yeah, tell me how you're feeling about it.
Oh my God, I'm so nervous and so excited all at once.
Yeah, it'll be good.
Yeah.
There's a great team of people that are going to be there to coach you and support you, and it'll be really good.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm really sad I haven't been able to get out to any of the meetings yet.
Yeah, it's a tough time of year for you guys though.
Mm-hmm. And the meetings, the last one was on a Monday evening when we were doing the podcast, so it was obligations.
No, that's definitely a conversation that happens around the meetings, is no students are coming until right now, because they're just, they're so into whether it's grad show, and it's just crunch time. So a lot of us have been there, and we remember what it was like. Yeah,
for sure. Loissa, did you go to any Pulp meetings?
No, I didn't.
You didn't?
No.
None?
Nope.
No, you should. We usually have beer.
Oh.
Yeah,
It's
usually
wonderful.
at Travois or something like that.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, absolutely. What are you doing for work term? Do you know yet?
As of right now, like, I'm trying to find work term here, but it's a struggle. I'm not doing so good finding anything. So I might have to go back to Saskatchewan for the same work term that I did if I don't get a job here. So that's where I'm at.
What did you do before?
I was pretty much like kind of like a art instructor, sort of, or like a art camp for kids.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What was that like?
It was really cool, actually. Like, some days were like pretty crazy, but we were in charge of implementing and like doing all the activities with the kids. Like, it was like totally like mine and my coworkers' responsibility just to do everything, and our supervisor just kind of was like, yep, just, plan it all and do it, and it was all, really cool.
Okay, so is that where you got the inspiration to do art therapy, or were you always kind of planning on?
I've always kind of planned on it. Like, I've worked with kids like for quite a bit of years, but I guess like this was a little different because it's just like a different setting, and like all the art stuff was brought into it a lot more. Like, I worked in daycares in the past, so it was a little different. But yeah, like, I've always just wanted to do art therapy. I heard about it and I was like, oh, it's perfect. Like, I can do like the best of both worlds and just combine everything. So yeah, it's kind of like a no-brainer for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Are there opportunities, like, did you find any opportunities for work term that were like centered around?
Not really, no. I have been looking, but
Yeah.
it's kind of like really like kid oriented, like daycares and like, like summer camps and stuff like
That's
that.
pretty cool though.
Yeah.
You can like help kids too. Even
Oh,
though
yeah,
it's
for
not,
sure.
like,
Yeah.
technically therapy.
Yeah,
It's kind of therapeutic.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, very cool. Very cool. Andrea, what did you do for your work terms? Other than, I know, December 2nd, right?
I know I never did intern at.
Oh, you
no,
didn't?
no, I
Okay.
didn't. So I went through the program in a very non-traditional way. I actually took 4.5 years to complete it instead of the usual 3. And I was working every summer, and then while I was in school, I got a job at the Esplanade, and then I was at Medelta for a while. But I didn't do my very first official work term until I went to the Smithsonian in Washington, D.C., actually.
Right, you did do that.
Yeah, that was my first official work term. And then my second one, I actually did a prior learning assessment for the work I had, because I had been Medelta for, I think, just over 2 years. And then I did a prior learning assessment for all the work that I had done there. Yeah, so.
Wow.
It was all right.
That's super cool.
Yeah. What was
Yeah.
the Smithsonian like?
Amazing.
Mhm.
It was amazing. I was really lucky to receive apparently it was just been canceled, which I'm quite sad about, but there was a scholarship available for quite a few years through the government of Alberta and the University of Alberta that sent 10 students every year from Alberta to the Smithsonian. So I was at the National Museum of American History in their really was essentially a programming department. There was a lot of design work in there as well, mostly because I was able to do it, and it was sort of like, I can do that, I can do that, I can do that. But really what the purpose of that area I was working in, it was about finding ways to connect museums to millennial audiences. So we would host different types of events within the museum, just to try and bring people in there and kind of recontextualize, like, what is a museum like and what can you do there? So one event we did was called We the Party People, that was focused on sort of recreating the excitement around democracy that came about when it was first established, right? Because I mean, this idea of the North American democracy isn't really not that old. So when it first came about, and like the U.S. was being formed, there was just all this excitement. People would go out to these parties and they debate politics, and they'd have fires and there'd be food, and it didn't really matter where you sat. People were debating about it and having all these open discussions. And so what we did was it was in 2016 that I was there, so it was coming up to that election time. So We Were the Party People was about opening the museum up inviting people to kind of come in and recreate that excitement about politics. So we had kind of lightning TED Talks on a stage. We had a DJ in the middle of Flag Hall and like a giant dance floor. They brought special items relating to politics out of storage that were on display only for the event. They had a terrace party that was sponsored by REI. What else was going on? Like there was just like, you know, but it was all about getting people to rock the vote came in, like just to, like we can be excited about politics. This is something, it's not something we need to be angry about. It's something we can be excited that we get to participate in and talk about. So that was one of the things. I mean, we could do a whole episode just about that, like, but yeah. I don't want to dominate that.
That's still like quite a bit. That's very exciting.
Yeah.
That's a good way of looking at it too, is like being excited to vote instead of just being like, frig, I gotta vote.
Well, I mean, just think how many countries there are in the world where people don't have that right. They don't have the right, they don't have the privilege to be able to have a say in who runs their country. And I think we can take it for granted a little bit. So it is something that we should be excited about and involved in, and yeah. Okay, I'll get off my soapbox now.
Okay. If you want, we can talk about RuPaul's Drag Race.
Oh my God, I love RuPaul's Drag Race.
Loissa, do you watch RuPaul?
I've only watched a couple, to be honest.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah. I don't watch it at all, but
okay.
I mean,
shade.
Yeah, that's okay. I will say, like, two of my favorite movies of all time. One's The Birdcage. Have you guys seen that?
No.
With Robin Williams. Get out of town.
No.
I'm so sorry.
If you love drag queens, Birdcage.
Okay.
Birdcage.
Okay.
Second one is To Wong Foo. Okay, so it's Wesley Snipes, John Leguizamo, and Roadhouse. What's his name? Patrick Swayze. All drag queens. You get to see those three guys.
Damn.
John Leguizamo is like...
Were any of them
he's
hot?
He's a good-looking girl.
I was going to say, like, did any of them...
He's, like, pretty.
Was he fishy?
He was...
That's the term.
Fishy.
Fishy, yeah.
Like,
Yeah, fish.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Fish queen.
Like, they go to a small town, and they're drag queens, and they're not, like, welcome, essentially, in the small town, but they're stuck there. So, it's you got
I'm going to add it to my list. That sounds wonderful, actually.
Yes, The Birdcage and To Wong Foo. It's like... Oh, all those like big actors dragging it up. I love it.
Yeah, that would be fun. I think we should have like a new rule that if you want to be a Hollywood actor, we need to see what you look like in drag.
Yeah, you have to do one drag.
Right? Or like there could be like a new gala where on the red carpet, everybody just dresses in drag just so we can see. Because you ever look at somebody and go, if they were a girl or if they were a boy, or like like I wonder what I would look like as a dude all the time.
Yeah, I don't.
Snapchat only does like the face.
Oh,
so
yeah,
it doesn't,
right?
If you could do like the full dress up.
The whole figure.
But I mean, let's be honest. They also give people, like if you do like the dude filter, they give you an incredibly square jawline.
Yeah.
Right? And like they make you look like the prettiest, but like, no, what would I actually look like as a dude? You know? I mean, I don't know if I'd get that beautiful chiseled jaw or not.
Yeah.
It's all about the contour.
We've learned anything from
Contouring.
Contour and let it bake.
And then vote.
Yes.
And then vote.
Yeah.
Vote
Get yourself all pretty and then go vote.
Yes.
Do it.
You guys were talking about your favorite RuPaul characters.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, this would be so much. So just so you know, I have seen. So there just started the 12th season. We're 2 episodes in. I have seen every season of RuPaul's Drag Race at least twice. Some of them I have seen 4 times through. So to ask me if Bianca Del Rio is my favorite of all time. Season 7 winner. Not season 6 winner, sorry.
Yeah.
And then what about you?
Bianca is got my heart, but number 1 of all time is Sasha Velour.
Oh, she's fabulous. She did a talk at the Smithsonian.
Oh,
fun fact.
Oh, segue.
Yeah.
I just love her androgyny. Like it just goals.
Yeah. So for anyone who doesn't know about these drag queens, you should just go look them up. Sasha Velour is very intelligent. Like she just has a lot of really interesting commentary on things, and Bianca Del Rio will just like insult you to your face, but make you laugh so hard and be like, tell me more, tell me more, tell me more. Like, yeah. And I think that's what I love about drag is like the looks and the fashion is fun, but it's about the performance that they put on and
their personality.
Yeah.
The way it comes out.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Yeah.
So are they like actual, like, are they personas that they put on that, or is that just like
some of them?
Yeah, some of them.
Some of
Yeah.
them. Bianca's very much so. It's very much seems like a persona. But then Bob the drag queen,
It's just Bob.
it's Bob.
I saw him live.
So like, what's Bob like?
Very like loud, but like in a positive way. Everybody knows Bob for Purse First. It's amazing.
He's
But,
really
like,
funny.
yeah.
He's a comedy queen.
Very much.
Like, yeah, he's another top favorite of mine for sure. Like I said, I did get to see him live, and his show was actually just like so good, like just so entertaining. Yeah, like you just were there, and I mean, I loved that it was Bob, but even if I had no idea who he was, I would have just been so entertained by it. He did comedy and lip syncing and music and played with the audience, and yeah, it was awesome.
Where do you see all these people live?
Calgary.
Really, Calgary?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So do they do like how musicians travel across
Yeah.
the country? They do that kind of
They
thing?
do tours. Mm-hmm.
That's actually so exciting.
It is.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's really like you need to put it on your bucket list. You need to go to one
Yeah.
drag show at least one in your life.
I feel like that's something that like my grandma, my aunt, my mom, and I would go to. I'm just like,
Sounds like you have a very cool family.
yeah, they're all very cool.
Just
Yeah,
bring
yeah.
them to Pride. Come check out our local queens. Bring them to
Oh,
Pride.
yeah. We do have a Pride.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, when's that happening this year?
Probably September again. Ours tend to be in September. It lines up well because we have a lot of visiting queens most of the time. So it starts in June, is Pride Month, but given the layout of how much they travel, when they come to us, it's usually September. But we had like 3 or 4 new queens last Pride, like first time ever they came out. So it's super exciting. I'm looking forward to this year's.
That's very exciting. What do they do at Pride? Like, what are some of the events and that kind of thing? Is it like a day-long thing or a weekend-long?
It depends on who's running it. Typically, the main event is the day of. There's Pride in the Park. It's very family-oriented. There's bounce houses, like drag show on the main stage. There's dancing and stuff. Lots of different booths. So local vendors come out. You can find like all sorts of Pride merch. It's amazing. And then Pride After Dark has happened. I want to say it's been like 5 years almost, 6 years maybe even. But the drag queens show up to whatever venue is booked. They put on their show. You get to actually watch a full drag performance. It's so much fun. And then after the party, like after they're done, they keep going. And you guys can like hang out and actually meet these queens. And it's so fun.
That's exciting.
I've actually never gone to Pride After Dark here. I go to in the park just about every year, but I always seem to have my daughter at that time, so getting out for the night is always a little bit trickier, but she loves going to the Pride in the Park. Yeah.
I take my kids to Pride in the Park every year. Have done that every year so far. If you need a babysitter for Pride this year, my lovely fiance will be staying home with the kids. He doesn't drink, so he never comes out with me. We could totally make a date out of it.
That's a perfect relationship right there.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's great.
Loissa, have you ever been to Pride in town? Or
I
anywhere?
haven't. No.
No.
I know.
That's okay. I mean,
Breaks my heart.
Actually,
We'll
my
just make
dad
you
goes to like he said he just started going to them, but he lives in Lethbridge. But he's like, you have to go. So
Really?
yeah,
I think-
well, he loves them. Yeah.
That's awesome.
I do think people might get the idea that, Pride is, just if you identify as queer, but like it really can be fun.
No, like he said,
right?
he's like it's so energetic and like it's just like a good time and like
Yeah.
everybody's just like super happy. So
and open and
yeah,
welcoming.
and I think that's like like
Mhm.
why wouldn't you want to go to something like that? I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
That's very cool.
It's a lot of
I'm
fun.
excited. I didn't get to go last year. That last year was the first time I heard about it because of Casper,
Yes.
who graduated last year.
Yes.
And then I was just like working through the whole thing. So I'm technically kind of there because I work downtown, but like not. But this year I'll make an effort.
Yeah.
I think Be very exciting.
Yeah, shout out to Medicine Hat Pride Association.
Yeah.
Yeah, Casper's basically running that right now, so
Yeah. Shout
looking
out to
forward
Casper,
to it.
for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, he puts in a lot of work,
Yeah.
right? Like he really.
Yeah, he does.
Gives her-
Him and Callan do a lot for Pride in Medicine Hat.
Mhm.
Very strong in activist communities in general, really.
Yeah.
The two of them.
Did you
It's
ever?
exciting.
Did you go to school with Casper at all?
I did, because Casper was here quite a few years ago and then left and came back.
Yes.
So I went to school with him when he was here. I don't know when that would have been, like 2014, 2015, maybe,
Oh, okay.
somewhere in there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was here then too.
Oh, were you?
Yeah.
Did we?
Yeah, so funny story is I was here in 2014 and then I left for like 4 years and then I came back.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right.
Did we ever have classes together?
I don't know. You look really familiar, so like maybe, but like that seems like forever ago.
It
You
does
know,
seem like
so
forever ago.
That's a while ago.
So what brought you back?
I don't know. I think I'm just stubborn, really. Like, I hate starting things and not finishing them. And I don't know. I just like had a change of heart and I was like, it was more of like a financial thing at the time when I did, I guess like quote unquote quit. I think to me, I just like took
temporary leave.
Yeah, I took a 4-year leave. So, yeah.
Do you find a difference in the program from when you were here before? Because that would have been like prior to this building, even back in the good old H&N building days, right?
In 2014, no, it was
was it
yeah.
maybe the first year in here in the new facility?
Yeah, it was the first year.
Oh, okay.
Yep,
okay. Do you find like a difference in the program from when you were here then compared to now?
The only like personal difference that I found was it wasn't really smart in terms of like learning all the software and stuff for the Macs and then leaving for so long and then everything was like wiped clean from my brain. So that was number one thing that I like, yeah.
Yeah.
But other than that, like not too much, I don't think.
Yeah, I feel like that after about a week of not using Adobe.
I know, right? I was like, ooh.
How do I put an image into this thing?
Yeah, I know. Start from scratch.
The basics. The H&N building, is that what you called it?
Yeah.
I heard about that building. I heard it was a wild ride.
Yes.
And I heard a rumor that this could be wrong, but from the things I've heard about that building, it could be very true. I heard there was a kid that like hollowed out the wall inside his locker.
What?
And then slept inside his locker.
What?
Okay.
It's like the ultimate fort, and that's amazing. But
like that sounds like urban legend, but also I could really see that happening.
There's a couple of them that I can believe would have done it. I've never heard that before, though.
I haven't heard that story, but I could believe it about those buildings. Like that was the thing, because when I started in the program, I was here over the transition, like in the old facilities, and then my like last half in the new facilities, and is really interesting, like the impact that had, because when you had these two tiny, almost derelict buildings, and we were all squished in there and like on top of each other, I do feel like everyone in the program got to know each other a lot better, like no matter what year you were in, because we were just like, fighting for elbow room a little bit. And so here, though, the facilities are beautiful, and it's still like we're so lucky to have this, but it did stretch people out a little bit more and make it harder to get to know everybody else that was in the program with you outside of your like little social bubble.
yeah, that's true. If you're not really like trying to meet people, you can easily avoid like like a third, 2/3.
Yeah.
For a bit.
For a
Yeah.
bit,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. How much time do we have left?
About 5 minutes.
Ooh, we're flying. What do you guys want to talk about?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh,
That's like a big question.
That is a big question.
Yeah.
I know you're the host. Aren't you supposed to know what we should be talking about?
Sometimes.
well, I have a question.
Okay.
Do you know why the name December 2nd? Do you know what the history behind that is?
Oh, of course. So we'll call it values, is that if you're going to be doing anything, you need to be starting a revolution, really. Like, you need to be challenging expectations. You need to be challenging preconceived notions. Our entire brand and business value system is based on revolution. So when Renee started the business, he was in a place in his life where he needed a bit of a personal revolution, and he had started a new job. I believe it was in Lethbridge, and he did it for about 3 days. And then he just realized he was done, and he walked out, and that day was December 2nd, and he decided to start his own company. And all the best revolutions have dates. You have the 4th of July, you have Cinco de Mayo, that's like how they tend to be named. So we are December 2nd.
That is amazing, and I am so glad I asked. I love that so much.
It's very good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I never would have thought about that.
And it from a name standpoint as well, it always makes people kind of go, huh? It makes them stop and notice, which I think is, from a marketing perspective is always a good thing. If they just kind of take a beat and they go, oh, huh? What was that? And then they ask a question, and now suddenly, they're thinking about you a little bit more than if it was something a little less revolutionary.
Yeah. Ooh. That's it. Yeah, I wrote December 2nd beside your name on the sheet out there. And they're like, what are we going to talk about?
I was so confused. I'm like, should I know? Should I know what's going on here?
Yeah. So that is kind of good, actually. Like when people have to stop and think about something, then
Exactly.
it kind of puts that in their head.
Yeah.
It's not just something they see and forget.
Exactly.
Or hear and forget.
Yeah.
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 That's a good question.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good question. So where are you allowed to talk about any of your projects or who you've maybe done work for?
I can't talk about current projects, but I can talk about some past projects. I mean, one client that we do a fair amount of work for is our local health foundation, which if anybody is ever interested in donating to a charity, that is one that you should definitely hit up.
Okay.
So last year we started a campaign for them that we call Dare to Dream. And the concept behind it is that, what they do is they talk to the people that are in the hospital, and they say, what do you guys need? What equipment do you need? What supports do you need? And they say, we need this and this and this, and it's going to be this much. And they go, okay. And they go out and they raise the money for it. And you would be amazed how many things in our hospital are paid for by the Health Foundation and not Alberta Health. Even some basic things like beds and chairs in the emergency room and that sort of a thing. So they're never deterred by the numbers. They're never deterred by, there's no way we can do that. They dare to dream. So we've done a lot of work in various iterations around that campaign for them, and it's been a lot of fun. We sort of what we call the mascots for the campaign were these two little boys who were racing with images of them racing in laundry baskets that were tied to skateboards with watermelons on their head as helmets, because they're daring to dream, right? They want to be race car drivers. They don't care that they don't have the car. They don't care that they don't have the stuff. They just go for it. So we took that idea of these watermelon helmets and these racing goggles, and we just had a lot of fun with it. I've done photo shoots and put this watermelon helmet on people and taken pictures, and it's on their elevators now. And so we kind of took that and applied it to staff at the hospital and patients who have been touched by them and that sort of a thing. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
That's excellent. That's some good, it's nice to hear about design work like that, because it's good fun work.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not
fun and helpful, not just boring and helpful.
It's design what it should be about.
Yeah,
right?
Design that makes a difference.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I mean, that for me personally is what inspires me. I love design, but I'm very purpose driven, and why are we doing this? What is the meaning behind it? And I ask that question of myself all the time of what am I doing with my life, and why am I doing it? And for me, it really comes down to, I want to make a difference in the world. I want to be able to leave it a little bit better than how I found it. And for me, design is the tool that I use to do that. If I can help organizations like the Health Foundation to do what they do better, then I've made a positive impact, and it makes me happy and excited to go into work every day.
That's good. It sucks if you hate your job. That's good to know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever had a project where you maybe had to like drop it, or like in the midst of talking about how to get it started, you were like, maybe this isn't for us? Like, have you ever had those moments?
Not really. Not really. I mean, not every project is a make the world better project. But I think the key to staying inspired in this field is you gotta find something exciting about everything you do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you like that. Like, I guess that's just sort of the attitude that I've had to cultivate. And sometimes you have to work harder to have that attitude about a project than other projects. But yeah, like if you kind of go into it going like, ugh, I don't want to do this, or ugh, I don't like it, or like, you know, you're not going to get very far, and you're not going to do your best work with that type of an attitude. Mm-hmm. So you know, have to find something to love about it one way or the other.
Yeah, that's good. It's good for life too, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Finding things to love and enjoy.
All the time. Yeah, exactly.
Happy.
So happy, clap along. That's right.
It was in my head too.
Yeah. Those songs. There's like a Taylor Swift song that came out a few years ago. My cousin's like, you need to listen to this right now. And then, I'm not going to lie, it's Taylor Swift, but I listen to it all the time.
Which one?
Shake It Off, I think.
Oh,
yeah,
that's a good
it got
one.
me so pumped up.
Right?
Yeah.
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 That's a great hype song.
Yeah. And then if I stop beside someone at a red light, just like instantly change it. It's like, no, I'm listening to hard rock right now.
I'm listening to what the cool kids listen to.
Yeah. Snoop Dogg. Not Taylor Swift. Yeah. We're out of time, right?
Yeah, we are.
All right.
All right.
It's been fun.
It's
This has been
good
fun.
time. Yeah. So thanks again to our guests, Loissa Russell.
Yeah.
And Andrea Webb.
Thank you. This is a lot of fun.
Yeah. And thank you for tuning into Hindsight Graduation Podcast. To learn more about our grads, I'm just like having a moment where I can't even read my own writing.
Visit our website.
Yeah, visit our website. Yeah. To listen to more episodes, click like and subscribe. Grad Show MHC is on Facebook and Instagram. Our website is hindsight.gallery.
And the grads went live today.
Grads went live today, so there's a new link. You can check out the grads and their artist statements and some of their work, which is very cool. The podcasts are on there as well. Social media, we are at Grad Show MHC. That is for Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat. Or Snapchat's... Yeah, no, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. It's one of those days. We'll have Loissa's social media up as well as Andrea's. So you guys can check that out. Follow them if you're infinitely curious. Bye.